Hello everybody, it's Andy here from AM Media Games. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to turn this crazy particle fountain, which is using sprites, into this ring of fire, and or maybe even this one here, this little flame coming up with the dissipating smoke, which really looks good in your game for like a torch on a wall or a little fire pit, little campfire or something like that. And the good thing is as well, it's set up so it uses very little performance in terms of resources for the GPU. So without further ado, let me show you how to set that up. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go to plugins, and in here you want to search for fluid, so F-L-U-I-D, fluid, and then make sure you enable Niagara fluids. It is in beta, so there are some bugs and some features that don't work that well, but for the most part it works perfectly fine for simple needs. So when you enable this, it'll ask you to restart, so make sure you save everything that you're doing first. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click, go to Niagara Systems, new emitter, and then you're going to select fountain, and then once you click fountain, click plus, click finish. So I'm going to go into that one now. So that will be this one here for me. So this is what you'll have. You'll have your fountain here, and that's it. So the first thing we're going to do to make sure it works, in fact I'm not going to do that, I'm going to show you because some people might run into that issue. So I'll show you how to do it if you do run into that problem. So the first thing we're going to do is go down to gravity force. I'm going to disable this. We're going to go down to sprite render, and we're going to get rid of these ugly sprites. Go to default sprite material, search assets and type in smoke. If you don't have this, make sure you have the starter content enabled on Unreal. Click on smoke sub UV, go down to where it says sub UV. This is an 8x8 grid, so we need to change this to 8x8, 8x8. We'll compile that and save it. And because we are working with particles and fluid simulations, it's really important to make sure you compile and save as often as possible, because when you're adjusting certain settings, it can cause crashes, it can cause hangs, and the editor may just suddenly close, and you don't want to lose all of the stuff that you're in the process of trying to make. So the next thing I'm going to do is go to our spawn rate. I'm going to change this to 250. I'm going to go to shape location. I'm going to change this to a ring. I'm going to set the ring size to 20, and then we're going to set 1 and 1 on the distribution. This gives us more even distribution. You can probably actually do 0 on this one. It's probably fine. So 1 and 0, and then velocity we're going to change to 7 and 7. So we have this little ring of smoke. If we go in game now, you can see, let's move this up, we have this little tiny ring of smoke. So let's bring that down, just like so. So now we have our ring of smoke here. Let's move that over. Move it back in. So in here we have a few things that we can change. We're going to add in our fluid parameters. So fluid gas source. Excuse me. No point in adjusting this yet because we haven't got our gas simulation in. So we have spawn rate increased to 250. Velocity changed to 7 and 7. You can have 5 and 5, or you can have anything you want as long as it's not too high. Unless you want a roaring out of control fire, then that's fine. Shape location is ring disk, circle 20, random 1 and 0. And then we go to our, where's it gone? Fluid gas source is 111. So let's go to the next part. We're going to right click, add emitter, go to parent emitters, and then if you've enabled the fluid plugin, which I said earlier, then you want to then select parent emitters, grid 3D gas master emitter. When we click on that, it's going to hang, and then it's going to load in this big smoke simulation. So let's pause that at frame by clicking on our timeline, which will give us performance back. You're going to notice there's a lot of settings here, so let's disable some that we don't need. So in the compute curl, we don't need this, so we're going to disable. We're going to go all the way up to emitter summary. We're going to change world size to 100 by 100 by 200. We're going to change our resolution to 128 and our solve iterations to 4. So that's 100, 100, 200, 128 and 4. This is our resolution, so the higher the resolution, the more processing or rendering power that you'll need. This I found gave a good result and still looked good in game. So you can adjust this however you like. The world size is how big this red box is. This is your render square. So everything inside is where it's computing. So it's like your bounds. So if you're familiar with Blender or other simulation software, you will notice that you have a bounds volume, which is where it does all the calculations for the smoke and fire. So we're going to scroll down, and we can see here we have mesh collisions. We can disable that. Enabling this, anything inside of that red box will interact with the smoke, but for this purpose we don't need it. Let's go down. I'm going to look for color, see if we can find that a little bit higher maybe. See if we can find it. There it is. Temperature. So this adds our color, our light. So you can see here it's already started going red. And the next thing we want to do is go to our emitter update, not emitter update, sorry, particle update. Where is it? It is on this one, sorry. Let's see if we can find the right one. There it is. Grid gas initialized particle source. So this is where we're going to select our fountain, particle source type, emitter, and then we know it's called fountain, so we're going to click here, press F, and then click on fountain. So this now connects these two together, so this now will simulate through the fountain, so the parameters in here are influencing the parameters in our gas. So we'll notice that it won't show up once we do the next step, and there's a reason why, but I'll correct that in a second. So the next one we can turn off under sourcing is our grid gas sphere source, and you'll notice here that we have nothing appearing in our render at the top left. That's because this is set to GPU, which is right, and this is set to CPU. So click on properties, go to sim target, change this to GPU, go down to calculate bounds, change this to fixed, and then if we click on fixed bounds, we change this to 100 by 100 by 100. If you leave this at min, it will render it off screen only. It's weird, I don't know why, but the bounds render backwards. So when you're not looking at render, when you're looking at won't. But now that'll fix that problem. So if you click compile and save, and if we look down here, once it's finished saving, we see if we move our timer or press space, we have our fire simulation. So the next thing we can do is, if we move down to our fluids gas source, we can now change our density, our radius, and our temperature. The temperature is the brightness. So if we move to a frame like this and we change this to 0.4, we remove some of that brightness, that fire effect. Radius and density have the similar impact, that how tall or big and broad the flames and smoke are. It's the same for this one. Let's do this one to 2, and put this one to 0.6, and then let's have a quick look at simulation. can see here. So let's make this better. So let's put this at 1. And let's change this to 3. Let's see how that looks. Maybe this one to 2. There you go. And put this one to 1. Okay, so initialize particle, direct set, and then 0.1. And then in our fluid to gas source, we can change this to a higher value. Let's see if we can get this effect looking better. Let's do 10, 10. There we go. Nice smoke simulation. So that was add velocity 30, 30, initialize 0.1 for life, click save. And then if we go in game, you can see here that we have a nice smoke fire simulation with very little performance hits on the GPU. And it works when we don't look, and it works when we do look. So move all the way over here, we can still see it's in frame. So that's how you create low-cost fire simulations inside Unreal Engine. Any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, then you know, it's your call. I'm not sure what there is to dislike, but you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye bye for now.